I'm naming the areas in Paul's doctrine where we should be questioning, we should be wondering or concerned if the church bases it on that. As I mentioned before, it's 2/3 of the New Testament, incredible impact on the church. And I'm not defending Paul, I'm just noticing he didn't have the Gospels to read. He never met Jesus, he never journeyed with Jesus, he never had the Gospels, which were written after Paul wrote his letters. So in a way, it was harder for him to keep the big picture, the vision. And part of the church's journey is to notice when we get it wrong as well. That said, Paul gets it right a lot of times. And a big right is that he kept growing and learning and changing and evolving. If I have one message today, the way we know that God is closer than we think, if we put ourselves willing to keep growing and learning and evolving in our faith, not a static thing. It's our spirituality that models what Christ lived here on earth, that the church would be the people who lived in community, aware that Christ's presence was here, that God was closer than we think. And that changed everything. That made church the place where we practice God's love, God's justice, God's mercy. We're not waiting to have that happen. We're doing that. We all need that practice of having some way to stay connected to the big picture, the big vision of being God's love alive in the world. So please, find those activities. Of all the good things you can do during a week, make sure it includes moments of stillness, of connecting, of being grateful, all great spiritual practices, but activities such as serving others. Serving lunch was one of the ones that we saw up on the screen in the scripture. Singing in a choir, doing something that reminds us we're part of a bigger picture. And that picture is God's love alive in the world.